Hey Knights, I'm Emmy.
And I'm Emily.
Welcome back to the Nightly News and happy Groundhog Day.
I wonder what the groundhog says.
K-Dance Club is a club that has a primary focus on K-pop dances. They meet every Monday at lunch.
My favorite part about K-Dance and K-pop is making new friends and able to go to concerts with them. K-pop is just expressing the Korean part of dancing. And it's like pop, but instead of your average pop, it's more into like mix of lyrical and hip hop together. Like some genres are not that much lyrical, but it's mostly like more funk pop, just with their own twist. We meet Mondays at lunch in the mat room. Our goals of this year is to make everybody to feel comfortable and have a better community. We hope we want to be featured in Culture Week this year. My favorite choreography to do is Anti-Fragile from the Seraphim.
Are you deciding whether to take APES, AP Bio, or AP Chem next year? Here's some interviews with Mr. Stone and Ms. Butler to give you some info about the classes.
Hi, I'm Hannah, and I'm here with
Mr. Stallings. Everything that we talk about this class has something to do with your choices each day, what you eat, how you drive, where you live. I'd say the one overriding idea that really relates to everything we talk about the entire year is climate change. So I'd say we probably assign about an hour of homework every time we have a class, and that includes a variety of things. It could include reading guides, where we give you kind of a guided set of questions and diagrams so that as you're going through and reading/skimming the chapter, you know what to look for. And then a handful of major labs where we'll do the lab in class, but then usually you're going to have to answer some of the analysis questions or graph or something like that at home. So it's an AP course, so it's going to be a fast-paced course. And then you absolutely have to do your community service.
So the three topics that matter the most is the first unit is all about kind of mole conversions and understanding things about the atom. It's not the most complicated unit, but it's the most fundamental. The most weighted is Unit 3, which is all about intermolecular forces and understanding what a molecule looks like and how that affects how they interact with each other and the world. And then the last unit that I would say is the most challenging, so it matters because you have to put the most time into it, is probably Unit 8, which is all about acid-base chemistry.
how much math should a student expect to know or learn for AP Chemistry?
So I really recommend that students feel very solid in algebra and at least be co-enrolled in Algebra 2, if not in a higher math class to take AP Chem.
Could you describe the real pacing of this course?
Incredibly fast. In a regular chemistry class, we cover what would be like a chapter of a textbook in about 5 weeks, and in regular chem in AP Chem we would cover that same amount of material in 2 days. I would say everyone who takes the class really likes science. They're very interested in it, and they're very high achieving students.
So the overarching concept is evolution. It touches on everything that we do.
On average, how much time should a student realistically expect to spend on AP Bio outside of class?
So I'd say probably 60 to 90 minutes for each class assignment. Studying is probably the biggest shift that a lot of students need to make. A lot of students maybe haven't had to study as much as they need to for this, and so this is their first class where they really learn how to study.
As an APES and AP Bio teacher, what are the two major differences between these two courses?
For AP Bio, we actually have a much smaller focus on what you need to know, but the concepts, they're hard. Like, you really have to just stop and think it through and try it and think about it several times. Whereas with APES, I think it's not that there's really any concepts where you think about it and think, oh, I just don't understand. But there's just so many things, and it's a matter of being able to make those connections.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Stallings.
Now here's another club, Civil Rights Social Justice Club. On top of that, this past Friday, students went out on a protest to protest about most recent ICE actions.
Can you explain how your club started?
A couple of us, Brooke, Erica, and I, we went on the Sojourn trip, and then that inspired us to create a club based on what we learned there.
Can you also further explain what the Sojourn Project was?
Yeah, the Sojourn Project was a college self-study class that ended with a week visit to the Deep South, where we visited a lot of civil rights, like museums and important landmarks.
I think civil rights education is really important in a high school setting because not a lot of people talk about it. Not a lot of people are educated or know the things that are important to know about because they don't actually talk about other people like Vernon Damer. You don't know who that is, but he was an important civil rights activist in the South who fought for voting rights and was really instrumental in the Voting Rights Act. So it's those kind of people, like those kind of things, those kind of people that need to be talked about more because it's not only in the past. Like the civil rights movement is still present and it's still having impacts today. Like right now, Trump is trying to disband remove a lot of veterans who are African American from memorials all around the United States, and it's hurtful. Like they were veterans, and we're removing them like they weren't even there or they never fought for our country. So that's why it's important.
How can I join the Civil Rights Club?
We meet every other Monday in the CRC, and you can join our club by either looking at the flyers that we have posted around school or following our Instagram, HHS Civil Rights Club, or you can come find me, Aya, Natalie, or Erica, our club officers, and ask us. But the remind code's around, and there's some QR codes to sign up for things, so yeah.
Immigrant communities have not been met with welcome, but with suspicion and with policies that treat human lives as problems to be solved.
Following the tragic death of 2 U.S. citizens earlier this month, nationwide attention was brought to ICE's brutal behavior around the country. In San Mateo County, the outrage of these deaths was demonstrated through last week's student-led walkout.
It's a nice movement to try and push against ICE and all their brutality and stuff.
Do it! If you're not walking out, what are you doing? It's an excused absence. You should be doing it. ICE is awful.
And even if you don't walk out, thank you for supporting the movement. Anything really helps, really.
Over 1,000 students, 500 from Hillsdale alone, chose to miss afternoon classes to walk together as a community for 2 main reasons: criticize ICE's actions in the last year, and to support immigrant families currently living in fear of detainment or deportation.
We want to show immigrant families and communities that we stand with them, defend immigrant dignity, and show that America is a place for immigrants.
I support democracy and freedom of speech.
On top of a large student turnout, many teachers took time off work to attend the walkout as civilians to ensure the safety of students on their journey to Central Park. Parents and San Mateo police officers also showed up, managing traffic at intersections and handing out water and snacks along the 3-mile walk. At Central Park, journalists from ABC News, local schools, and other local news stations attended to document the event. All in all, last week's walkout was a representation of increased political engagement. The walkout's attendance more than doubled San Mateo's No Kings protest from last year. As politics become more extreme and as daily headlines become more shocking, it's necessary that our community stands up for what we believe in and not sit down and watch as innocent lives are lost to an unchecked government.
El Hillsdale Community Closet está organizando una colecta de abrigos que finaliza este viernes 6 de febrero. Se pueden entregar abrigos, suéteres y ropa con el logo de Hillsdale High School en la sala 211 y en el Community Closet el miércoles de las 2:30 a 4 p.m. o el viernes de 7:45 a 9 a.m.
The Hillsdale Community Closet is holding a One Warm Coat Drive that ends Friday, February 6th. Coats, sweaters, and Hillsdale gear can be dropped off at room 211 and at the Community Closet on Wednesday from 2:30 to 4 p.m. or Friday, 7:45 to 9 a.m.
Esta semana se celebra la Semana Nacional de Orientación Escolar. Nuestros maravillosos consejeros trabajan arduamente para asegurarse de que todos los estudiantes tengan los horarios de clases necesarios para graduarse y prepararse para su futuro, después de la escuela secundaria. Damos un gran agradecimiento a todos nuestros consejeros de bienestar, escolares, universitarios y profesionales aquí en Hillsdale.
This week is National Counseling Week. Our wonderful counselors work very hard to make sure that all students have the class schedules they need to graduate and work towards their future after high school. Let's all give a big thank you to all our wellness, school, and college career counselors here at Hillsdale.
Thanks for the announcements.
Night out.